Good afternoon, Bay Nation. Welcome to another episode of Fantasy Bay. I'm your host, Mike Williams, and today we're going to be going over the waiver wire. I just got back from Ecuador. I had a fantastic trip. Just landed. I haven't even had time to unpack, but I wanted to make sure you had all the top picks for this week's waiver wire. By the way, I have a new souvenir. Ooh, love how it looks. Big fan. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, starting with the quarterback. Derek Carr has been playing fantastic this year. He has been a top 12 quarterback every week. I think if you need a play, start Derek Carr. Next, we have Kirk Cousins going against the Cleveland Browns. Kirk Cousins has been playing fantastic these last two games. He's been top 6. Pick him up, start him. I definitely think he returns on value. If those two aren't out there, I think that you can start Sam Darnold against the Cowboys, and I think you can start Taylor Heineke versus the Falcons. The top two are definitely my favorite, but the second two I think will have a solid game. Moving on to the wide receiver position. Emmanuel Sanders went off this week. Oh, fantastic. 5 receptions, 98 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I definitely think he's a fantastic add this week. That old man somehow was their deep target of the day. 18.8 yards per reception. That is fantastic. I didn't see him slowing down. I definitely think he's going to be a good play. Moving on, Tim Patrick. Tim Patrick has been the beneficiary of injuries, and those injuries just increased. KJ Hamler unfortunately just went down with a torn ACL and will be out for the remainder of the season. That's just more targets that's going to go to the receivers and Noah Fant. Tim Patrick is definitely going to be a beneficiary of that, so pick him up. And last but not least, Christian Kirk. I like Christian Kirk. I think that he's going to have up and down games because Kyler Murray's just going to find the open man. But DeAndre Hopkins is dinged up at the moment, and he's going to have a tough matchup this week. I think that Christian Kirk is a good plug and play for your offense. Moving on to the running back position and the #1 waiver priority of the week, Chuba Hubbard. Unfortunately, Christian McCaffrey went down with a hamstring injury. We're not quite sure how long that's going to last. He's definitely going to be out this week, but they didn't put him on the IR, so I'm not sure if it's going to be this week and next week or the next 3 weeks or even longer. But if you're the Christian McCaffrey owner, I definitely think you got to go grab him. For everybody else that needs a running back, I do think that he's valuable, but I see him more as a short-term play for the non-Christian McCaffrey owners. Up next, Cordero Patterson. Cordero Patterson is the running back for the Atlanta Falcons. Well, he's the backup. He's not getting a lot in the rushing game, but in the receiving game, he's doing fantastic. Last week, he had 6 receptions for 82 yards. That is very solid for a running back. I definitely think that he is worth a grab. And last but not least, on the running back position, Peyton Barber. So apparently, the Raiders paid Kenyon Drake all that money for no reason. Peyton Barber comes out of nowhere and is now the lead running back for the Raiders while Josh Jacobs is out. That's extremely unfortunate, especially for all of you that drafted Kenyon Drake. But draft season is over and we're here for fantasy football. As of right now, the backup for Josh Jacobs is Peyton Barber. So if you're the Josh Jacobs owner or you just need a spot start, I definitely think that Peyton Barber can fill in that void, assuming that Josh Jacobs is out. Now, you're going to have to be careful with this one because it's a Monday night game, so you're going to need some insurance just in case Josh Jacobs does play. But I think he's a solid grab as a wait and see. Moving on to the tight end position. Tyler Conklin, the tight end for the Minnesota Vikings, has been getting some targets recently. 7 targets for 70 yards and a touchdown. Very solid. It seems like he's going to be involved in the offense. If you need a tight end, grab him. Up next, Evan Ingram, tight end for the New York Giants. Evan Ingram will be starting for the first time this year. But with all the injuries that the Giants are dealing with at the wide receiver position, I think that he'd be a solid add. Those balls are going to have to go somewhere. And last at the tight end position, I have Mike Gesicki. I had high hopes this year for Mike Gesicki, but he was not receiving the targets that we thought he would at the beginning of the year. But with Jacoby Brissett as the starting quarterback, I think that that's going to turn around. Last week, he had 12 targets. That's absolutely incredible for a tight end. And he turned those targets into 10 receptions for 86 yards. If you're in need for a tight end, I think Mike Gesicki could be a solid start for you, especially while Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback. And last but not least, we have the defenses for this week. Starting at the top, we have the Bengals versus the Jaguars. The Jaguars have been playing terribly so far. I think the Bengals have actually been playing pretty solid. They should have a good game in this one. Next, we have the Titans versus the Jets. The Jets have been absolutely horrific. Fire up those Titans. And last but not least, we have the New Orleans Saints going against the New York Giants. The Giants have not been playing well. I definitely think this is a solid start. All 3 of these defenses, I believe, should have a good week this week. And that's going to do it for my waiver wire episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell down below. If you have any questions, hit me up. And good luck on the waiver wire. Peace.